Hey folks, I just want to remind you to check out my eBay store at SeemsGoodMagic.com for some playsets and singles. I also want to remind you to check out live stream times, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central Time. And also follow us on Twitter at SeemsGoodMagic. Thanks, and enjoy the video. Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here for another Swiss Theros draft. And pretty good pack we've opened here. Rare is Temple of Triumph. I'm pretty sure all of those lands aren't worth much of anything, but might as well check. Yep, as suspected, it's only worth a ticket, so let's take something a little more relevant. I am a huge fan of this Nessian Asp. I also like Wingsteed Rider. I think both of those cards are very powerful. I'm actually a bigger fan of Nessian Asp, even though it's more expensive. I don't know, I'm kind of a fan of the mid-range decks in this format more so than the aggro decks. And Nessian Asp is just a phenomenally strong card. The reach is really the part that makes it. I mean, the Monstrosity 4, obviously very powerful too, but if this was just a 5-mana 4/5 with Monstrosity 4, it'd be a lot less interesting. But really, the reach is just really puts that card over the top, in my opinion. So I'm just going to first pick this Asp here pretty happily. Follow-up pick. Well, we've got Leaf Crown Dryad. I'm a big fan of that card. I've also got Ill-Tempered Cyclops, which is a pretty phenomenal beater. Triton Tactics. This card's blown me out actually a couple times. I think it's pretty damn strong. It's actually, in my opinion, I almost feel like it's better defensively than offensively. Even though, you know, the ability is sort of set up to be used offensively, I feel like it's better defensively. Let's take the Leaf Crown Dryad, I think. I actually think Ill-Tempered Cyclops is a better card, but I don't know if I immediately want to go down red-green. I guess I could. I just don't want to miss out on this Leaf Crown Dryad. I like Bestow a lot, and Dryad is one of the most efficient ones in the format, if not the most efficient one. So let's pick it up and go from there. Alright, so now choices. Prescient Chimera, very strong. Agent of Horizons, good. Fade into Antiquity, good. Burnished Heart, there's an interesting one. That'll hook us up with some ramp. Read the Bones is phenomenally strong. And I just got done playing a rock deck in my last stream, if you check that out. I had some major connection difficulties, unfortunately, but I still managed to post most of the matches on Twitch, and yeah, just black is so black-green turned out to be really good. I really liked it a lot. So really, I'm thinking Burnished Heart, which is fine. Allows you to get fixed and ramp pretty easily, so that'll let me you know, fill up the end of the curve a little bit better. I do like Read the Bones and Prescient Chimera a lot. I think both of those cards are very powerful. I think I'm just going to take the Burnished Heart, which really lets you move into some 3-color, or possibly move into 3-color. Alright, Destructive Revelry, obviously strong. Destroying artifacts and enchantments in this format, extremely relevant. Mostly the enchantment part, obviously. Hopeful Eidolon, big fan of this card. It's pretty much the Mark of the Vampire of this set. Can be a total game flipper, especially on fat green creatures. Cetessan Griffin, also pretty decent, but I mean, even though, you know, obviously white-green is where it shines the most, I'd almost rather just have Hopeful Eidolon. So really, what's the most relevant card in here? I mean, Portent of Betrayal, you watched me get blown out by that last time around. I think I'm going to take the Hopeful Eidolon. I do like Destructive Revelry, but Hopeful Eidolon, like I said, real game flipper. So I think we're going to take that, especially when you got the fat to back it up. Okay, choice here. So we've got Afara's Warden, which has proven itself to be pretty good. Also have Sedge Scorpion, which I do like, and I have no problem taking. Not good against the decks with a lot of evasion, which, I mean, there's certainly enough in this format where that's a concern. There's sometimes, if you're running too many Sedge Scorpions, you can sort of get bogged down. They're not doing enough. Griptide, though, you know, phenomenally strong blue card. In this format, I mean, I felt like in Dark Ascension it was good. In this format, it feels much better. It's one of the few instant speed removal spells, so very powerful in this format. That being said, I could take Griptide, but I think I'm just going to take the Sedge Scorpion. Stick to a little more green. Wow. All right. Well, all right. This is absolutely just ridiculous. There's absolutely no reason Polis Crusher should be taking 6 picks. So we're going to slam pick this, and pretty happily. Really, I have no idea what the other players were thinking passing this. I have no idea what they were thinking. Polis Crusher, whatever you want to call it, one of the most powerful spells in Limited, I would say, in this environment. So we could take a second Sedge Scorpion. We can also take Vulpine Goliath. Hunt the Hunter, good sideboard card. I'm okay with Vulpine Goliath over a second Scorpion for now. I'm not opposed to that. I do like Sedge Scorpion, but Goliath's a great finisher. And we already have a little bit of ramp. We could find some more. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay, let's take the Disciple pretty happily here. We may end up just splashing for the Polis Crusher, which I have no problem doing. Trample Pro Enchantment with Monstrosity. Just all sorts of relevance there. Let's take the Disciple. Alright, I guess we could take the Warden over the Bronze Sable. Otherwise, Dragon Mantle. People are still talking that up. I mean, it's good with Heroic. It's good with Evasion. I do like the Warden, though. There's a chance that we still go mostly green-white and then splash for red. So let's take the Warden. At the very worst, if I don't play Polis Crusher, I'm really glad I took it away, because this card, like I said, very, very difficult to deal with. I'm going to hate the Triton Tactics. I've just had really bad experiences against this card, so I don't want people to have access to that. Okay, now we can do Agent of Horizons, which is a pretty efficient 3-drop. Also Fade into Antiquity, which I think we want. This is very good in this format. Obviously, almost easily main deckable. Very relevant. Alright, we can take Setessan Griffin. It's a fine card to wheel. Some pretty relevant blue spells ending up there, but alright, we'll take the Sable now over the Commune with Gods. Alright, well, I'm happy to get a second to last pick white card, but I don't think we are likely to play the Silent Artisan. He's Siege Mastodon, not as impressive in this format. Okay, Labyrinth Champion, obviously very strong. What else is good, though? I really like the Emissaries. Another Leaf Crown Dryad. All sorts of good cards in here. I kind of got to strongly think about this. So, if I was to pick the Labyrinth Champion and try and go 3-color, which is actually a possibility, because Labyrinth Champion's very ridiculous, but how much targeted spells do I have right now? I just have the Hopeful Eidolon, the Leaf Crown Dryad, and that looks like it's it for now, but it's early. So I could pick up Labyrinth Champion and find some more Bestow cards, find some stuff like that. It would certainly make for a more fun deck, which I like to do in Swiss. Otherwise, maybe a safe pick would be the Divine Verdict, which is just, removal, always relevant. Rage of Perforos, also some removal. And like I said, Leaf Crown Dryad, Nilia's Emissary. I think Emissary is probably just a wee bit better than the Dryad. You have to pay more, but it's a good bunch of abilities you get there. Let's take the Labyrinth Champion. I think I'm going to attempt to do 3-color here. Just because of the Burnished Heart, and there's enough other ways to get that online where I shouldn't be concerned about it. Definitely taking the Emissary here, one of the more powerful, if not the most powerful Emissary. Now I hope I'm not eating those words, I kind of have to think about that, but the red and the white one, I think the white one might be the most powerful one. To be honest, I'm kind of blanking on maybe what the blue one draws a card. Regardless, I think we're taking the Heliod's Emissary here. What else is good? Last Breath is playable. Staunch-Hearted Warrior, definitely playable. Chosen by Heliod, fine. Dauntless Onslaught, obviously very good. Very good with Heroic. I still want the Emissary, though. I just... Big fan. Okay. So we can do the Observant Alceid, which would be good with the Labyrinth Champion. Ill-Tempered Cyclops, obviously very good. Brings us a little deeper into red, but that's fine. I really like Ill-Tempered Cyclops. And I'm not afraid to do 3-color, I don't think, right now. It's early enough where I can just sort of value some fixing and probably be fine with 3-color deck. But I mean, I like Observant Alceid too. I think it's good. Obviously good with Sedge Scorpion. And like I said, good with Labyrinth Champ. But, I mean, I guess alternatively we could be considering red. No, we still have to do green for the Pulse Crusher. All right, I'm pretty sure we're going to be doing Naya. I mean, I could just devote my energies to sticking at green-white, but I'm going to try and take some better cards and see if that pans out better. Okay. So we can take Lagana Band Elder. I mean, we do have some enchantments, to be sure. Fade into Antiquity, I believe, tabled last time. So we already have 14 creatures, too, which is phenomenal. I guess we could take the Shredding Winds for sideboard, which actually is pretty valuable. There's a lot of stuff you want to get rid of. Actually, Priest of Iroas, more of a sideboard card as well, but takes out enchantments. I like it. I think since I'm gonna attempt to be light red though, so let's take the Shredding Winds for the sideboard. Okay, we've got an Ordeal spell. We've got the Agent of Horizons. I think we'd take the Ordeal. I've had Ordeals kick my butt in quite a few drafts, and I haven't really gotten an opportunity to play it. In addition, this one seems particularly relevant considering it ramps you 2 lands, so fixes nicely. All right, let's take it. Nilia's Presence. Very playable in this deck. Very, very playable. Setessan Battle Priest, fine, not amazing. Vanquish the Foul. A little bit expensive, but I can see the relevance of it since there's so many big threats in this format, and it is uncommon. I could consider the Vanquish the Foul, but I actually think Nilia's Presence is going to be a card. Even though, you know, these tend to go pretty late, I just want to make sure we get one at least, and then we're going to be fixed a lot better, I think. Could take the Hedonist, but I think it's pretty easy verdict. I mean, I was saying Hedonist because it's ramp and in a color that we're in, but I think it's definitely the verdict. Centaurs are playable as well. Easily Opaline Unicorn over the second Presence. I do like Rage of Perforos, so I guess I will say that. But once again, we're 3-color. I just want to make sure we're getting fixed. We already have some real good stuff going on with this deck. Real interesting. The mana base may take me a little bit time to get down, but that's okay. Let's take the Band Elder here just in case. Okay. Now I think we can easily take Last Breath. Don't need to main deck it. Can sideboard it. I'd prefer to not main deck Bronze Sable. I just want to sort of cut cards that I'd prefer to not main deck, but I can in a pinch. Like, we may not even want to main deck the Disciple, but for now I'm okay with it. Alright, let's easily, I think, take the Prowler's Helm here. Little unblockable goodness if we need it. Alright, Demolish maybe for sideboard. Not likely, but possible. Probably not playing either of those. Oh, Foil Forest, I'm all over that. Okay, so on to Pack 3. And once again, we're in a good place in terms of fixing. We have the Presence, we've got a Unicorn, and a Burnished Heart. So pretty happy with that. I'm kind of happy we picked up the Labyrinth Champ. Like I said, we already have some Bestow, and it's just really good if you can just target it with 1 or 2 spells, and you're really, really punishing them hard. Alright, last pack. Alright, wow. Well, it's on color, so I think we're taking it. Anax and Cymede, pretty cool. What else is in here, though, that's relevant? Well, good news for us. Nothing else in here is super relevant for us anyway. Snarecaster's fine. Warden's fine. Easily taking that dude. Pretty awesome. Haven't gotten a chance to play this guy yet, and it's a very good ability set. Efficient cost, 3 mana, 3/2, plus First Strike and Vigilance. Both excellent together, and then on top of that, it's got Heroic, so really cool set of abilities on that card. Oh my god, Prophet. Man, this card is obnoxious to go up against. But I can't take it here. I got to take a more relevant card. I think we want the second Asp. I very much like Feral Invocation. And actually, now I have to consider that. I guess we already have a good creature count. And we do want some Heroic for Anax and Cymede and Labyrinth Champ. I felt like there was one more, but perhaps not. I mean, I think Asp is better. Invocation feels like it's going to be more relevant in this deck. We're short on removal. This is a great trick. I think we got to take the Invocation. Once again, I just really like this Asp, so I'm not thrilled about it, but I do very much believe that Feral Invocation is a direction that's going to greatly enhance this deck, so let's take it. Wow, Reverend Hunter. I don't think we quite have enough green sources to make it good. I feel like most of the time it's going to be a 3 mana 2/2, but then again, there's really nothing else in here that I care about. Shredding Winds, Spark Jolt perhaps, Agent, Last Breath. None of them are blowing my mind. Let's take the Hunter. There's a chance he's 3 mana 3/3, so I'd be happy when that happens. Alright, we can take the Chronicler, who's very efficient. We can take the Scorpion. We can take a second Presence. All of those are fine. Let's take the Chronicler. We already have a few ways to get some. Do I have more than one? Maybe I just have the Reverend Hunter that gets +1/+1 counters. I can't see anything else, but it doesn't really matter. 3 mana 3/3 is good, and it's on color. And it's efficient and all that jazz. Well, a couple Centaur Battlemasters. I think I'm okay with that. We certainly have some good targeted stuff for that. Multiple Bestow guys and Feral Invocation, so this can be over the top strong on occasion. Follow-up pick, Savage Surge, huge fan of that card. We already have plenty of creatures, so getting another excellent trick like Savage Surge feels in order. We're up to 25 playables already. That's great. Alright, Leaf Crown Dryad, happily taking that over the Acolyte. And yet another card to target our guys with. Actually, God's Willing is also something I should consider, but I think Leaf Crown Dryad's more relevant. It's going to boost our Reverend Hunter. It's going to target our Labyrinth Champ. It's going to target our Anax and Cymede. Just feels better. Alright, we can take a second Nilia's Presence now. God, all the Griptides. Very scary. We're going to take the second Nilia's Presence and going to try and find a way to play it too if we can. I'm going to take the Dissolve over the Peak Eruption. Peak Eruption's cool and all. I don't likely see myself sideboarding into it, and Dissolve has proven itself to be really impressively good in this format, in my opinion. There's absolutely no reason Horizon Chimera should have tabled. This is one of the more powerful uncommons in the set, in my opinion, so I'm just going to hate that. Let's take the Boulder Fall, though I guess I'm not going to play it. But I'm not playing anything else anyway. I guess I could just take the Crackling Triton in case someone's in color with that, because that card's actually good if you're on color with it. I can take the Sandals, not likely to play that. Let's hate the Mnemonic Wall. And let's take that, okay. So hating some blue picks. Really happy with where our deck ended up at, though. Plenty of bomb creatures. A lot of rares, too. Labyrinth Champ, Polis Crusher, Reverend Hunter, Anax and Cymede. Very cool. Looks like a fun deck. Should be fairly easy to construct. Double Nylia's Presence. I'm actually not sure how that's pronounced, but you know, they replace themselves, which just makes them an easy throw into a deck. The Ordeal, which I think is pretty fascinating. I think we're going to end up with a pretty stable mana base. We've got some good sideboard options. Not sure if I need the Disciple. I guess we'll find out. For now, let's put in the stuff we for sure want to play. So yes, I'd like to play the Warden. I do believe it's good enough. This is 22. We want Labyrinth Champ. I definitely want the Cyclops. I mean, Disciple's an option. Prowler's Helm's sideboard, probably. I mean, maybe it's main deckable too, but I don't know if it's necessary in here. Shredding Wind's good sideboard. Fade into Antiquity is main deckable, but perhaps not for this deck. Doesn't need to be main deckable. Let me take a look here. So, good curve. Let's move this stuff down. Let me take another look, re-evaluate here. Short on removal, admittedly, but this is semi-removal when you monstrosity it. This is pseudo-removal. This locks down a creature. Divine Verdict kills something. This is a combat trick. So there's probably enough removal where this deck is going to be satisfactory. And I feel like if we can make the mana base work, this deck could be real powerful. So I want to make one more cut. I don't think we have to do 18 lands. I think this is actually perfectly acceptable at 17 with the double Nylea's Presence, the Burnished Heart, and the Unicorn, as well as the Ordeal. There's probably enough. So what is the weakest link of this deck? That is the question. And I'm not sure I have the answer for that. It could be the Stephenson Griffin, but it's kind of nice to have that and a little bit more late game. Like, I'm very happy we picked up the Goliath over the second Scorpion. I was kind of feeling like we were going to see another Goliath, and we didn't, as far as I know. So it's always nice to have the 1/6 drop that you can finish the game with. Definitely think Battlemaster is a very powerful threat in this deck with all the targeted buff effects we've got. Where is the cut? I don't know. Perhaps the Ordeal? Since we probably have enough Bestow and Fixing already, this isn't necessary. I never end up playing these, and then I always get rolled by them. So I'm trying to think. I mean, I definitely like Feral Invocation more than it, since you get the surprise factor plus the buff. But Ordeal also helps you trigger your Chronicler of Heroes, which is semi-relevant. I still like the Scorpion in here, just because we're a little bit clunky. Not super clunky, but a little bit. Let's cut the Ordeal. I know. I never end up playing that card, but I want the Fixing with the Presence and all this other jazz. So, I mean, alternatively, I could do one Ordeal, one Nylea's Presence, but I really want to make sure we hit all of our colors. So I think those Nylea's Presence are kind of a very important aspect of this deck. But the Ordeal, on the other hand, can also be quite good. Interacts well with Anax and Cymede, interacts well with Labyrinth Champ and Centaur Battlemaster. Challenging. Let's check out our color scheme. Alright, definitely more green, which is where we really want to be for these Nylea Presence. I mean, I've got 18 creatures, so I could comfortably cut the Stephenson Griffin and not be heartbroken about that. Not that this card's bad by any means. I mean, like I said, in any deck, if you were going to play it anywhere, this would be the deck. We've got the green to support it. But I don't know. It may just be the most uninteresting aspect of this deck. Alright, let's cut the Griffin. And let's look at our color again. Let's see what they suggest. They actually want more red than white, which is kind of curious. It's very strange, actually, that they would say that. But I guess I sort of understand. Why don't we do 9-4-4? That way these pretty much count as extra lands for both colors, so it's more like 9-6-6 plus these guys. Yeah, I mean, that should get us the color often enough. Yeah, I think I'm okay with this. Let's try out this. Let's try this out. A little bit weird of a mana base, right? But this deck, I mean, certainly looks like it can get there. I don't see shortcomings of this deck. A little bit light on the removal, but like I said, we've got tricks for days, plenty of reach creatures, good sideboard options. I think this deck could definitely get there, and I'm really happy we picked up this Hopeful Eidolon. This, like I said, this card really does, just like Mark of the Vampire, completely flip games around. I guess not on a Polis Crusher, but still. He's just bomb on his own. Labyrinth Champ, very excited to play this guy once again. I played him during the pre-release and was extremely happy with how he played. And Anax and Siamede, I'm excited to try this guy out too. I feel like he's very powerful. All right, that's going to do it. I'll see you round 1. Actually, almost forgot, guys. Almost. Can't forget that foil forest. All right, see you round 1.